So today on the Franklin Show, I have a few special guests. Would you guys like to introduce yourselves?
Well, hello, my name is Katavia Franks.
My name is Andrea. My name is Sandy.
I'm Heaven.
Speak louder, boy.
I'm the Sean.
And this is
The Franklin Show.
So the standard we're going to be discussing today, we're going to investigate specific events and key ideas that brought about the adoption and the implementation of the United States Constitution. And we're going to figure out how to explain how objections to the ratification of the Constitution were addressed in the Bill of Rights.
The Constitution required only 9 states to ratify it so it can go into effect. In December 1787, Delaware was the first state to ratify. In June 1788, New Hampshire became the 9th state to ratify. Then the new government had been approved. Virginia and New York, 2 of the largest and most influential states, which had not yet agreed to it. James Madison argued that the Constitution had to be approved as written. No changes could be permitted because it would mean each state was signing a different document. Virginia agreed, then New York followed. 2 years later, in May 1790, Rhode Island became the last state to ratify. The Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments to the Constitution, was ratified December of 1791.
On September 17, 1787, the delegates at the Philadelphia Convention finalized the United States Constitution. The old Congress maintained the power to expedite or block its ratification. Benjamin Franklin gave a speech shortly after the Constitution had been completed, urging unanimity among all states. However, the convention had decided that only 9 states, 2/3 of the total number of states, would need to ratify the Constitution in order to inaugurate the new government. More populous states such as Virginia, New York, and Massachusetts would be critical to this process. It was crucial.
What is the Bill of Rights? The Bill of Rights was the first 10 amendments to the U.S. Constitution. It ratified in 1791, guaranteeing such rights as the freedoms of speech, assembly, and freedom of religion. When were the 10 amendments added to the Constitution? The 10 amendments were added on December 15th, 1791. The Bill of Rights became known as the Law of the Land. How did the Bill of Rights influence the ratification of the Constitution? States cherished their new freedom from the British control, and the ratification of the Constitution by state legislatures was by no means certain. All 13 states finally ratified by 1790, but only with the addition of 10 amendments, known as the Bill of Rights.
Now, what are the amendments of the Bill of Rights? Sandy?
So, the First Amendment of the Bill of Rights is freedom of religion, speech, and the press, meaning you have the right to believe whatever you want, the right to say whatever you want.
The Second Amendment is the right to bear arms. A well-regulated military being necessary to the security of a free state. So basically, you're able to protect yourself against the police or anybody who is threatening you.
The Third Amendment is no quartering soldiers, meaning no soldier shall be quartered in any house without the consent of the owner.
The Fourth Amendment is protection from unreasonable searches and seizures. So, unless the police or the military have any valid reason or any paperwork showing that they have a reason to search you or your household, they can't.
The Fifth Amendment is protection of rights to life, liberty, and property. No person shall be held to answer for a capital. Infamous crime unless or presentment or in... Okay, never mind. We're not going to explain that one.
The Sixth Amendment is right of an accused person's right to a speedy and public trial, which means you cannot be arrested and then your trial takes forever, for years, for you stealing something. The right of trial by jury in civil cases is number 7, which means you have a jury of your peers. 8, freedom from excessive bail, cruel, and unusual punishments. You cannot be held at an excessive amount, and your punishment cannot be cruel and or unusual. 9, pause it. Number 9, other rights of the people, which means the Constitution cannot take away certain rights that we all have. And number 10, powers reserved to the states. Powers reserved to the states. That means the power is not delegated to the United States by the Constitution nor prohibited by it. To the states are reserved to the states respectively or to the people.
So, what amendment do you guys think is the most important of all of
Amendment
them?
2, the right to
Number
bear
2?
arms.
I agree.
I disagree.
I don't know.
I disagree.
You should be able to protect yourself at any cost.
I think it's the first one.
I feel like it's obviously the first one.
Yeah,
I agree.
because
The
it's
freedom of
freedom of
speech?
speech, freedom of
Yeah.
religion.
'Cause,
I agree with that,
Petition,
but I also
assembly.
agree with the one about, you know, the government, the police, whoever, not being allowed
It
to
has
come
to
up
be the
in your
first
place.
Oh, the Fourth Amendment.
The Fourth Amendment.
Yeah.
Like, you need a warrant, period.
Okay. But you should be able to express yourself at any given time.
yeah,
True.
that's
Without
more
being
important-
judged.
That's more important than having weapons, though.
But you
That's
should-
debatable.
Right, you should be able to protect yourself at
Yeah,
any
you should
time
have the
too.
right to protect
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah, I
against-
feel like
I feel like they've all been placed because they're all important.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's a good place to end the section.
Okay, so, like, what's popping with, like, the Federalists and the Anti-Federalists? What's
Okay.
that beef about? You know?
I mean, I can't speak for the anti-federalists, but I know whatever their issue is, you know, do they have many?
Okay.
Okay.
Is
More
that
discussion outside.
they're just petty. I mean, they just think that we don't care, but when really
Inform
we
me.
do. Like exactly. We put all these laws in there just so because they are important to us. So one thing that isn't important to us, the Bill of Rights. Why?
You know what? Also, following that organization
Right.
is needed.
Right.
Oh, okay, you guys are really coming at me. But I feel like the states, the states should have more power than the whole government, only because, like, let's say there's a problem, right? Let's say we needed something to get done soon, but if we had to rely on the overall the nation's government, we'll be waiting for days and maybe even months. Like, that's too much.
So do you think the states are more, like the way they handle things, they're more effective than the overall?
Yeah, I believe they're
national
more effective because each state has different people and different values.
Different.
I get you because they have different views.
Exactly.
Okay.
Different perspectives.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Would you like to say?
Well, I mean, I guess that's why we reached that compromise. While James Madison came up with the Bill of Rights, and I know, whatever.
Quick flown. So, guys, it's the end of the show. Sadly, we've had our ups and downs today. It's been boring here and there. It's been funny here and there. But overall, you learn about the Constitution, what led up to the Constitution, how the Constitution was ratified, how the government changed through all this,
How the Bill of Rights.
the
Rights,
Bill of
and
Rights,
the
the 10 Amendments,
And how the
the
anti-federalists suck.
Anti-Federalists, and the Federalists. Oh,
Have a federalist.
I have no say, no words.
Let them fight, and we hope you gained a greater understanding. And this is
The Franklin Show.
And we're signing off. So say goodbye to all our guests. Bye, everyone.
Bye.